Hi. Can you just explain this team's ability to chase efficient shots, to get efficient shots, getting that extra pass?
Well, I'm really repeating all of these again and over again, but so veteran team that knows what it takes to be good, what it takes to be great, you know. And they play unselfish basketball. They play for each other. They play like a family. So that makes everything easier.
Organizations preach that a lot across professional sports, that the team atmosphere. It's a bit of a cliche. How have you guys genuinely established that environment here?
I think it starts with owners and goes with the coach and comes down to staff that we try to create. Coach James trying to create, and players. I mean, we all together put a lot of mind. We have knowledge backgrounds that we know personalities. So we try to put this team together long time ago, and this is the outcome after 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm. And then the team started this month in a bit of a shooting slump. I think early in the month there was like a 14% from 3 game, and today you guys set a league record shooting 83% in the first half. What's
all time?
All time out of in a WNBA half,
okay.
the new record. So has anything changed offensively that's allowed this team to get rolling in this way, or what do you credit that to?
No, I mean, it didn't change anything. We're just getting better and better and better every day. Sometimes it will be upside and downs, but we're just trying to keep going with this, not like a little bit upside down, but we're not going to go all the way down. So it will be some games that we may not shoot well, but we'll come back out of it because it's in our DNA.
James and then Zach.
Coach, congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Or today. That's so weird to say. I mean, heading into this game, Lee and Candace had only played 5 minutes together, and they were out there today, which I thought was kind of interesting. What did you like from that lineup, and what did you take away from it today?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Lee and Candace had only been on floor together for 5 minutes heading into this game today, and they played together, and it seemed like you all were able to have a good stretch here. With them.
It's still like 3 minutes, but 3:25. We used Lee against this team first game, and we saw something. So we saw something she can contribute, and she did. I think +4 when she's on the court. So it says along, we saw that she can be a good matchup against Brianna Jones. So I think that helped us in that stretch.
What has she improved on the most since coming here, just from what you've been able to see?
I mean, she's a physical post, right? So if you play against physical post, so that's a physicality against another physical post. And her basketball knowledge is pretty good. She's picking up stuff. I mean, it's hard for a person who's coming overseas and try to adjust the game in the United States, which I've gone through too as well. But, she's pretty smart and adjusts very quickly.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win today. There seems to be a pattern happening in the last couple of games where you all get out on a run early, get double-digit leads, and then it happens to become single digits. I was wondering if you could speak to that and how you all intend to overcome that.
To me, it happens anywhere and anytime. It happens NBA Finals in the Game 6, Game 5, right? It happens. It's so both teams. It's so hard to go up 20 points and then keep going with that 20 points. That happens, but it's so hard to keep that margin going. And the team that coming back, it gets confidence. So, I mean, it's just hard. It's just hard to keep that going, But I'm proud this team. We proud this team to be able to pull the victory. That's the most important part. And yeah. So what is it? 8 points. 8 points. Yeah, 8 points. So win. W is W. So.
And also, there was a bit of uncertainty leading up to this game with Kalia, obviously, with her back situation. Obviously, the performance she had today, you wouldn't be able to tell that she had any sort of issues. I was wondering if you could speak to how she did today.
I think she did an amazing job. Yesterday, she joined the practice, and it was looking good. She didn't start with us. She started with the physical trainer, and then she joined us, and it looked okay. And we were just waiting the last moment if anything affect that practice affected today, which it didn't. So she was feeling good, and we go for it. And her place is here, like she's our starting lineup. She's in our starting lineup. As soon as she got back, and I talked to coach, and we just go back to normal.
Coach, you're now 2 for 2 in these games. What have you learned about yourself that you didn't know before you coached these games?
Well, first of all, I'm very uncomfortable talking about myself. This is a team effort. You get emotional a little bit. It's just special.
What was it like doing it in front of a bunch of kids today? When you have 11 o'clock start, it's a loud.
Well, I am the person who is coming from overseas, and nobody knew me here. Special. It's special. Grinding and payback and special. Why did you ask that question?
Steven, last question.
How you doing, Coach? Steven Garner from Nuts and Bolts. So, you guys have went against a few teams that have thrown 2-3 looks at you to offset the strength of your offense. It's kind of like a copycat league. So today it seems like it was your best performance as far as swinging the ball and having ball movement, weak side, and everything to kind of navigate it. Just talk about how good this team is with adjusting, and did that come from like film sessions, or was that just a feel for going against that defense repetitively?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it's just everything. This team pick up everything. They're so smart, man. They're so smart, and they're very experienced. You can just adjust anything, anytime. During the game, which we proved that we were down by how many points? We were down by LA against LA. I mean, we're capable 28, I think 28 highest. I mean, to me, this team can come back anytime, anywhere, any situation. And we have a high confidence on this team because it is what it is. That's the players are, Yeah.
And one more question. So you guys have gone against a different group of guards in each of the last few games. This team being unique from, of course, the Aces, where you guys were like hedging and trapping and blitzing. So talk about how against those teams you had the front court pieces being able to show their worth, and in this game it was the guards navigating over screens, on ball and off ball to kind of keep their guards out of the paint. So just talk about how competitive the guards are, how valuable that is, and executing your defensive schemes.
Yeah, we can go different lineups. Depends on the opponents. And we have capable shooter, we have capable defender, we have capable drivers. I mean, when we combine different things, it just gives opponent different looks, and it's hard to guard. And defensively as well, we I don't know if you guys realize that we tried something else today. It was a little bit of a different defensive scheme, but we were able to do with our guards. So on the offensively and defensively, it helps us big time.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, Ali, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. this team started the month in a bit of a shooting slump. We're last in the league in 3-point percentage, and today you guys set a new league record, shooting 83.3% in the first half. So is there anything specific that's taken place over this month other than just continued development, continued cohesion being, developed amongst the team?
Yeah, I think it's just we're just figuring out how to play, our best together. Everybody's kind of settling a little bit into the roles at the midway point. So I think it's just a little bit of that. We're just gelling, and our chemistry is just kind of at its peak. So we're just trying to continue that.
Everyone talks a lot about the environment in this organization, the sacrificial energy that's there, everyone understanding their role. So what's allowed that to really be developed here? And yeah, is that honestly how you all feel when you're playing on this team?
Yeah, I think when you have some older players, and we've been kind of together for a while, a few of us, and just experience, that's the best way, to win a championship, to have success, is when everyone kind of sacrifices a little bit, and it's going to be somebody else's night, every other night. So I think we've kind of all bought into that.
Does it help that you have that experience of the championship to lean back on, of like, okay, we already know this method works. So the sacrificing, I don't know. It's
yeah, definitely
know what it'll lead to.
Yeah. We knew how up and down we were during the regular season last year. And so I think we've tried to bottle up, how we played, the way that we played in those 10 games in the playoffs, and know that, we can do that the whole season if we put our minds to it and just, focus on it.
Ali, how has it been having Emre be your head coach over the last couple of games? He got kind of emotional at the podium talking about this opportunity. He's been here for 8 years. I mean, what has it been like over the last 2 games?
It's been awesome. I mean, he's put in so much work the last 5 years, 6 years here. And we were just so confident in him when, he had to step up, and he's always working so hard, and, he's ready. He has that temperament to, be calm, and we just have all the confidence in him. And, I'm really happy that we got these 2 games for him.
So, I mean, if you were struggling a little bit shooting the ball at the beginning of the season, but now, I mean, you've really come into your own. It feels like everything is back together, and that has just opened up the offense. I mean, how much have you felt that now, just given your gravity and how, you see like Connecticut, like hard heads you over and over again today? I mean, how do you feel like how much the offense has opened up now that you're found your stroke from beyond the arc?
Yeah, I think whenever you have everyone kind of doing what they do best and, playing well, that's when you can have the best team success, I think. So we're all figuring that out one by one. Certain people's games come early, some a little bit later, and, mine's coming a little bit later, but, everyone's been giving me confidence and believing in me. So, it's just a process. I know that, there's ebbs and flows, and just staying confident that every game is going to be like the next game, that is going to get better.
Hey, Ali, congrats on the win today.
Thanks.
This is your 4th consecutive win. And what I've been noticing is that the team, for the most part, has been healthy overall. The core group, including you, have been staying pretty much healthy. I mean, obviously, Kalia with, her back, and Candace recently with her knee. But overall, the core group of this team has remained healthy. I was just wondering if you could speak to that, especially with the All-Star break just around the corner.
Yeah, we know that's huge to having any kind of success, is being able to play and be healthy. So I think the coaches are doing a great job managing that, in game, and even, in practice. They're really focused on our bodies and making sure we're recovering as best as we can. And I think we're all focused on that too, just, outside when we leave the practice gym, doing whatever we can to, keep that. So yeah, we're excited about that.
Hey, Courtney. I'm Courtney. Hey, Ali.
It happens all the time.
So you spent a lot of on-court time and lineups in the rotation with Z and Rebecca recently. They both today had double-digit points for, I think, the 4th time this season off the bench as a tandem. Talk about the added value and just the security blanket that those two bring for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of expect that from them, and we know that they bring that experience. Z's been around for 4 or 5 years now, and obviously Rebecca has so much experience. So, it's not like you have these kind of rookies coming in and you don't know what to expect. Like, we know exactly what to expect. They're confident in their game. We're confident in theirs. So it's been huge for us to have that off the bench. When they sub their second unit in and we sub ours in, we know we have the upper hand. So it's awesome how they're playing.
And then so pretty much everyone knows that the Sun have one of the better defensive groups, and they kind of bank on their defense to be their identity. And you guys sent them way off script today and forced them to play 2-3 for an extended stretch. So talk about how when your offense is just flowing that all encompassing of a way. Talk about how that just kind of opens the game for you guys. And do you feel like you guys are turning the corner on that end?
Yeah, I feel like when we have, we have three pretty awesome playmakers and Candace, Emma, and Courtney. So, as long as we're sharing the ball and those guys are getting touches, like they're going to make good decisions. They're going to play make and make everything else easier. And we know that when we move the ball and we use everyone, that's when we're at our best. So I think we're really believing in that. And we'll have to work on our zone a little bit though, our zone offense. All right, thanks, Allie. Thanks, guys.
Candace, you guys started this. I've asked this now 3 times, so I'm repeating myself to everyone in the room. You guys started the month in a bit of a shooting slump and turned things around. Are third in the league in 3-point shooting, and tonight made history with the best shooting half since 2003. So, has anything changed, or is it that this team is just beginning to, come together and figure out what works?
I believe it's a little bit of both. I mean, I think we didn't hit the panic button when we weren't shooting great. I think we knew what we're capable of offensively. I think we have a lot of weapons, and we knew just in terms of getting back to the way we moved the ball and shared the ball. And a lot of times we were making the extra pass, we just weren't knocking it down. And so just trusting, continuing to make those right plays, and things will fall. So I think that that's what we did. And obviously we get in the gym and put in work and things like that. But a lot of it is rhythm, knowing offensively, what you're doing. And I think, we're kind of adjusting to that.
The team continues to talk about this sacrificial identity, everyone knowing their role. In your experience in this league, how would you compare what exists here from previous experiences on not just the Sparks, but other teams?
I mean, I think this team is a very veteran team. On any given day, it can be anybody's night. I think that we realize stats are stats, but there's weighted stats, and I think there's value in what we do consistently, across the board. So even though the stats say that this is what this person averages, we know that they're capable of stepping out on the court and carrying the load offensively, as Sloot did in New York, and as Emma did when we played at Connecticut, as Ka did at Indiana and against Atlanta. We know that everybody's capable of doing that on any given night, and I think that's what makes us so special.
You've made a lot of history this month, and you talked a little bit about it in LA, playing in this system and the success that it's allowed everyone to have. How enjoyable is it to reach these career milestones in this system with this team?
It's amazing. I think just to play this style of basketball. I love playing fast. I love playing reads. I love playing off of different plays and being able to not just have one person that we're trying to feed the ball to every single time. It's fun for me individually. I mean, we can play fast. We can play in secondary. We can play in the half court. We can execute offensively and try new things. So that's why I came here. And, I think we expected this last year to eventually gel in the regular season. And, it's fun to play this brand of basketball.
Candace, you all are 11-2 in the last 13 games, and it's the depth of this team shows every single night, like you just said, in the different ways in which you can beat teams. I know I'm not sure if you've reflected on this or not, but how does this team compare in terms of how deep it is to other teams that you've played on previously?
I think every year presents different challenges, and you can't win the same way. So, I think just in terms of depth from top to bottom and style of play, it's one of the best teams just in terms of the way people can read, how you can pass, move, come off a pull-up, shoot. I mean, Beck hit a huge 3 in the corner. So I think it's a fun brand of basketball. So I don't know, year-to-year comparison, but I just know that, if we're able to continue to sacrifice and to play for one another, it's going to continue to be fun.
Last year, before Game 2 of the finals, you told me that this team hasn't played its best basketball yet. How close do you think this team is to reaching that point?
I hope not close. Yeah, it's June. It's a long year. So we don't want to fizzle out, but we also don't want to not play and not reach our potential. I think there's a lot of things in a lot of areas we need to clean up. I mean, you look at us, we had 22 turnovers tonight. So 22 turnovers, that's a lot. And especially since we shot 20 for 24 in the first half. So if we get a shot on goal, So there's areas that we have to clean up. I don't necessarily want to focus on just results. And I think that's how you continue to get better, is you don't focus on like the end of the score or what the score says. You focus on how you played. And I think that's an area we definitely have to get better.
Candace, I saw you at Wrigley Field last night. I've seen you really embrace your situation here in Chicago, more than most athletes do. What's it like to be you right now? What's it like to have the championship? What's it like to have a team like this right now and you being able to enjoy everything that it brings?
I was really sad last year. We had to leave like right after we won the championship. And the amount of love that I felt from LA, in the city of Chicago, whether it's like pulling up to the airport and seeing like congratulations to the Chicago sky at O'Hare, or the billboards that you see on the way to the game, and just the countless people that come up and just recognize us and want to say that they're excited for us for last year, and they're coming to the games this year. And then also just, I'm a Chicago fan, and I always have been. I was at the Cubs game yesterday, and I was like, no, I was GOAT no more in 2004. Like, I go way back. And so in 2016, I was excited we won the championship in LA, but more excited, probably not more excited, but really excited the Cubs won. And so it's kind of one of those things, like my kids, they know they're Cubs fans. I'm sorry, you're Bears fans, you're Cubs fans, you're Blackhawks fans, you're Bulls fans. That's what you're born into. So they understood that last night. They understand the assignment.
Did you think that this would be this way? You win the championship, but did you encompass what this all was going to mean to you and to your family?
I knew what it could be. And I think last year when we were on the brink, when it was like an opportunity where we were up 2-1 against Connecticut, and then we played Phoenix in the finals, and like we won game 1, we lost in overtime. Like, what it could be. And I think because of that, it just makes it that much more special. In Naperville, I feel like our basketball team was completely embraced, and especially my senior year, just like the gyms were full, home and away. We were able to play at UIC to go downstate. We filled out, Redbird Arena. So it's super special to be able to play here. And then I know from being a Bulls fan, like if you win here, it's super cool. So to experience that with this group, it's a lot of fun.
Hey, Candace. So you talked about recently about how you guys, the offense is free flowing and it's somewhat unpredictable because you have so many pieces that can do so many things, including off the bench. So speaking to all of those things and how it's been a slow ingratiation, meshing the pieces, do you feel like the offense is beginning to turn a corner because you guys have high potential?
I think it's beginning to turn the corner. I think we would really turn the corner if we stop turning the ball over. I think that's our biggest thing right now. We share the ball, we move it, but there reaches that point in the game where we're either down or we have a lead and we just turn the ball over. So we really have to correct that and do a better job of taking care of the ball. Because when we're flowing, we're hard to guard. We have to understand that.
Do you feel like your defense is a big key in terms of how much flow you guys generate offensively?
I think our defense, but I think more so to our rebounding. We were last in the league at one point. I don't know what we are right now, and giving up offensive rebounds. And when you play a team like that, they had 15 offensive rebounds and 16 second chance points to our 2. So I think defense is important, but we got to do a better job of rebounding.
And then I talked to you during the finals about Azurá Stevens and her growth and how you kind of took her under your wing. So can you speak to the strides and growth that she's made both offensively and defensively this season?
Yeah, I think, just in terms of her coming in, I think Vegas was a huge game for her. Just she kept us in it in the first half, just coming in and getting buckets. And, to be able to have the advantage of playing with her for a year and then also her individually having success in the playoffs last year. Her length, her athleticism, I don't even think she realizes how great she can be. And so it's been amazing to see her, realizing that this year and playing well and knocking down shots.
Just looking ahead to Sunday All-Star game, you, Ka, Sloot, Coach Wade, everybody, and here on the home court, have you looked at forward at all to that? What has kind of been the mentality? Have you even really processed that you get to play an All-Star game here in your hometown and on your home court and having your teammates and your coach there as well?
I look for the city of Chicago to show out as we always do. I always tell people that, summertime Chi is probably the best city in the world, honestly. And the weather keeps me from coming back in October to, April. But other than that, summertime Chi is the best. And so to be able to do that in front of our fans, I think it's going to be super special. Do that with 4 teammates together and a coach, our coaching staff, in our home arena. I mean, we're ready to show out. Now, my only wish is that we can all be on the same team, but we'll see how that goes. Thank you.